Today we are rebuilding Sevilla, who currently sit 18th in the La Liga table. How this team is sitting 18th in the league is crazy. Obviously, injuries and whatnot have probably been hindering them. And now World Cup winner Acuna and World Cup star Banu in net. This should be an easy refix. We did go ahead and release Isco from the club, seeing as he is getting released from the club in real life. So he is no longer with us. So Gomez is our new main cam. El Nisseroy is our striker. Now there is one problem with this team. This team is literally as old as, I don't know, but they're old as shit. So 36, 34, 34, 31, 30, 30, 30. The youngest starting player we have is 28 and 27. Actually, this guy's about to leave the club as well. Susu's 28. We barely have anybody over the age of 20 and or under the age of like 25, and if they do, they're not that great. They drop off pretty rapidly, so we must euthanize the club a little bit. And the first step to euthanize this club is bringing in Danjuma from Villarreal. He will not be a striker like he is in the game. What is that manager? He will be our new left winger for the club. And we say goodbye to our first player, Jansu. I'm not even trying to say it, but Hansuj, our right winger, is out of the club. We get around 20 to 30 million for him, so we get the money back just that we just spent on Danjuma. We get it immediately back into the club as he's off his way to Liverpool. Vermeer is gone. He is on his way to Bayern Leverkusen. We get 37 million for the deal. It's a big transfer, and there's a reason why. We obviously have El Nisseroy, but we also have Youth Academy Vergaga in our club now. He is going to be our main striker in a year or two as he grows rapidly. We bring in Barcelona's young star Pablo Gavi into the club to help euthanize. I feel like that's a bad word, but Pablo Gavi joins the club from Barcelona. He will help bring a little bit of youngness into this team. And we bring in center back Lindemord from Real Sociedad. He will be our new main center back along the sides of Fernando for this season. We trade him out for Mercado. Now, despite their terrible performance in the league, they were in Champions League for this season. Obviously, in real life, they got knocked down to the Europa League, so they're in the preliminary round by the time you're seeing this. But we're going to see if we can somehow rectify that and get out of this group this season and see how far they can go into the Champions League. I will see y'all in January. And halfway through the season, we are currently 10 spots better than what they are in real life, sitting 8th in the league, where we could go up to 7th with the game in hand. Real Madrid, the only club yet to not lose a game, they sit 10 points clear of Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Now, the Champions League, we did not go through, so Man City and Dortmund both go through. So we are in the Europa League, just like real life, where we play Dynamo Kiev in the preliminary round. And then new signing Danjuma is our star player this season with 11 goals. And Nisseroy with 6, Acuna with 5, Rakitic with 5, Gomez with 5, Delaney with 3. How Delaney is playing is beyond me. Alright, we sell Lamela off on his way to SC Braga. We also sell Ivan Rakitic. He's back on his way to Barcelona. We get around 20 million for both of those deals combined. We do currently have 76 million to improve the team still. And now hopefully, I think I might have to bring in another midfielder. And I'm hoping I can sell Delaney. And I'm hoping also sell Rekic, our center back. And I'm hoping that can help us keep Lindemond playing games because he hasn't been playing. Gavi hasn't been playing. And then I think I might also be selling Jesus Navas. Jesus Navas is gone for the clubs, and World Cup winner PK winning taker Montel will take his spot. PSG star Renato Sanchez joins the club for around 38 million. He will partner up with Gavi as our main midfield players. We draw the first leg 1-1. We win 5-4 in the second leg off of penalties, 5-4 actually. Man United up next. First leg, we win 2-0. And the second leg, we lose 1-0, but we are still through to the quarterfinals. First leg here against AS Monaco, it's a 3-1 win. We're winning some league games too here, and then a 1-1 draw semifinal against Roma. We're winning some massive La Liga games here. First leg against Roma, it's a 3-0 win. We might end up in winning the Europa League. Second leg and 1-1 draw, Arsenal in the final of the Europa League. Europa League final against Arsenal, in which they have Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, Xhaka, Arambabi, Gabriel, Carvajal, Ben White, Ramsdale, Zinchenko. We go ahead and quick sim it. I don't care about the final of the Europa League. We lose 4-3 on pen. The World Cup winner, PK taker, Montiel misses here. And that was the first nail in the coffin. And then Gugel, on his way out from the club, he misses as well. Despite not winning the Europa League, we are still in Champions League for next season after finishing 4th in the league. Real Madrid win the league with ease, 96 points. Copa de España, Real Betis win that. Why is their name Balampe now? Did I miss something there? UEFA Super Cup, Real Madrid win that. Champions League, the competition we were in, Liverpool versus Barcelona. Danjuma, top goal scorer of the club. El Nisseroy had 18 goals, and Gomez has 17 goals. Acuna has 6. Pablo Gavi stepping up and having 6 in his later games. Montiel playing. Now, did my boy start playing more games? He did. Second half of the season. Perfect. We bring in star German attacking midfielder Jamal Musiala. He joins the club for Gomez plus like 56 million. We bring in a center back to help buff our defense. Christian Romero joins from Tottenham for around 60 million, and he will partner alongside Normand for this season. We have our Champions League group. We're alongside Napoli, Leicester City, and Slavia Praha. It should be an easy group for us. We should top it in all honesty. And halfway through the season, we sit in 6th place with 34 points, quickly checking the Champions League group. We finish 2nd, we don't come 1st, which means we play Bayern Leverkusen. It's actually not even that bad. Napoli plays PSV. Top goal scorer this season is El Nisseroy, Renato Sanchez, and Danjuma all up there. Acuna is still scoring as well. First leg of the Champions League against Leverkusen, we quick sim it, and it's a 2-1 loss. Second leg here, we are down 2-1 to Leverkusen, and we lose 2-1, 4-2 on aggregate. Now we are in the final of the Copa del Rey against Barcelona, in which sees us win the 3-1. We win the Copa del Rey, despite losing to them in the league only a couple days before. We are wrapping the season up now. And despite my manager rating being quite low, we finished the league in 2nd, 8 points off of league winners Barcelona. My voice just cracked. We do win Copa de España, Copa del Rey, 3-1 against Barcelona. Now Champions League sees Napoli versus Manchester City in the final. Obviously, we fell off after losing to Leverkusen early on. And our top goal scorer is Nisseroy, and then Danjuma stepping up in the second half of the season with 23. Gavi, really not doing much. He is growing, though. That's good, at least. Musiala, not a great first start in the La Liga season. We'll see what he can do next season. We bring in Premier League star boy Bukayo Saka, coming in from Arsenal for a whole 110 million pounds, dollars, whatever. But he joins this great Sevilla team. And that is pretty much our whole entire budget spent on Saka. Alongside Bukayo Saka, we bring in Diego Lima, we bring in Alvarado, and we bring in Bustamante, all free agents. Simply did that because I needed to sign the 3 South Americans for objectives. I really need to buy FIFA on the PC so I don't have to worry about getting fired. But yeah, hopefully if I start my job, we'll continue on. If not, I'll either go back or that's the end of the save. I'm not sure yet. In our Champions League group for this season, we have Sevilla, we have Atalanta, we have FSV Mainz, and then we have Salzburg. Again, another easy group. In this one, we should top. We should top this Italian club in Atalanta. Alright, halfway through the season and we sit in third, 8 points off of first place of Barcelona. We are in the Supercopa semifinal here against Atletico Madrid, so that'll be interesting to see how far we can go in there. Now, group stage of the Champions League, we go a perfect 6 for 6, come top of the group, and which awards us with a game against Roma. Salzburg get Inter Milan, so they get stiffed. That's actually good for us as well. Top goal scorer is El Nisseroy and Danjuma, both with 14. Musiala with 10. Gavi must just not be a goal scorer at all. Saka having a rough start to the season. It looks like he's not even playing most of the games, and it looks like he missed like 4 or 5. First leg against Roma in the round of 16. It's a 4-1 win. Saka scoring a brace as well as Danjuma. Second leg of the Champions League. It's a 4-1 lead. It's a 1-1 draw, 5-2 aggregate win. We move on towards the quarterfinals. We have Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals. We quick sim the first leg. It's a 2-0 win. Danjuma and Gavi both scoring. Second leg here against Atletico Madrid. It's a 2-0 lead so far. And it's a 3-1 win, a 5-1 thumping. We're into the semifinals of the Champions League somehow. Now we have a semifinal date with Manchester United. Lautaro Martinez is the striker. I'm hoping that's Lautaro Martinez and not the center back Martinez. We quick sim the first leg. No Saka for this one. It's a 3-0 win. Danjuma, Ocampos, and Pablo Gavi all scoring. And we might have a ticket to the final already somehow. And now the second leg of the semifinals, in which we're already up 3-0. Sees us win 2-1. A 5-1 thumping again on aggregate. Musiala and El Nisseroy all on the score sheet. And we're into the final of the Champions League against the Villarreal. We are in the Champions League final against Villarreal of all teams. But before that, we wrap up the league in second. We lose out on top of the table to Barcelona, who had 94 points. Real Madrid finishing in third. Atletico Madrid all the way in sixth. Going down is Eibar, Girona, and Celta Vigo. We didn't even make it far in Copa de España. I think we got knocked out in January. Our top goal scorer is Danjuma and Nisseroy and Musiala all stepping up. Saka playing more games, but yet not really getting on the score sheet. We'll see if we can change that for this game as well. Let's get into it. Champions League final against Villarreal of all teams. Saint Maximin, Gabriel, Kufal, Bakul, Coquelin, Volin. This team doesn't... Zinchenko? I don't know how this team got to the final. I'm not sure. Our bench is terrible, by the way. Holy cow. Champions League final against the Villarreal. It's an all-Spanish final. And after sitting currently 18th in the league, losing the manager to Wolves, we are now in the Champions League final against Villarreal some all time. If we don't win it here, we might mess up later on. Here's Sanchez, shot saved. It's a great chance for us to grab this Champions League early. Playing into former player Danjuma. It's 1-0. Sevilla have the lead, and Danjuma scores against his former club in the final of the Champions League. Great pass from Saka, cutting inside, finding Danjuma. I thought he might have been offside for a second, but he's able to get it past the keeper, and it's 1-0. Volin. Now a chance to equalize. It comes off for the post, and Romero is there. He can't clear it though. Volin has it back into Saint now. Montiel defending. Kamada. Zinchenko. BSC offside. And we get a lucky let off there. BSC. Kamada. Shot. It's 1-1. Banu can't save that one. And Villarreal are right back into it, showing me why they deserve to be in the Champions League final. I still don't get it, but here they are. And my defenders, I don't know, out of position, just nowhere to be seen. Saint Maximin now, World Cup winner. Montiel gets dusted. Saint Maximin against the Brazilian. Lima wins that and also injures Saint. Saka quickly over the top. Can we hit him on the counter? No, because the game stops to play for Saint Maximin. His time is over here in the Champions League run. Who's going to be his substitute is my question. That's a good ball over the top for Coughlin. Romero crossed in. First touch great by Volin. Shot off target, and luckily it's still 1-1. And we go halftime 1-1. And Volin is through wide open, and it's 2-1 to Villarreal. And honestly, that's what I get for disrespecting them. They're taking the lead now, completely split open our defense. Keeper trying to come out early. It goes against them, and it's 2-1 to Villarreal. Lima gets a lucky interception. Renato Sanchez can't win that ball. And BSC makes it 3-1. And Villarreal will be your Champions League winners. There's no shot. Our best chance to win the Champions League so far. And we bottle it in the final against Villarreal. We go again next season, I guess. How have we done that? If Saka didn't shoot that ball earlier, it's 2-2 and we're in the extra time now. Danjuma, Musiala, Saka, Musiala shot, block, game over, referee blows the whistle, and it's a 3-1 loss in the final of the Champions League. We go on to next season to try and win Champions League in the league again. We start the summer off here by bringing in Benzema's region. Now, I know I did this in the Leicester City rebuild as well. Was it Leicester City? I think it was. Yeah, because it was Duran and Leicester City. But we bring in Benzema's region. 19 years old at 93 overall. Honestly, sometimes you just can't pass it up. So he joins the club for free, and he will replace El Nisserai at that striker position. I know El Nisserai has been our top player forever, but this guy should be so much more better than him. Here's our new number 1 man, Maxence Pierre. And we bring in a new center back by bringing in Kimpembe. He will join the team, and he will replace Acuna in our new formation. I will show you all that in a second. But he joins for around 50 million. And here is the team. It's a 3-back. That way we fit El Nisserai and Pierre both in the starting 11. So we have Kimpembe, Romero, and Lima in the back. We have Sanchez and Gavi in the midfield. We have Danjuma, Saka out wide, Musiala in the mid, and then El Nisserai and Pierre as our 2 strikers. This should be an insane season. I'm hoping 3-back doesn't. Champions League group consists of Roma, Porto, and FCSB. Again, another easy group that we should get, and we keep getting Italian clubs in here as well. We should be top of the table, maybe going 6 for 6 again. I will see y'all in January. And we sit top of the table halfway through the season, only 3 points above Barcelona. The Supercopa, we are in it again. Levante against Levante. Barcelona versus Real Madrid in the other semifinal. Copa de España, we obviously not in that yet. That's at the end of the month. Our Champions League group, we go top of the table. Not going 6 for 6, but 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And we faced off against AC Milan, who was second in our group. Roma. Who did Roma get? Roma got PSG. I would rather AC Milan. That's a great start to the season. Our top goal scorers is Danjuma with Pieta right behind him, and Nisserai dropping off a little bit. Saka not doing as much this season as well. But our top 4 is our top 4 goal scorers. That's good to see. Now, the first leg here against AC Milan in the round of 16. It's a 2-1 win. Saka and Blinkard both scoring. Second leg, Noah Nisserai. Second leg against AC Milan, 1-1 draw. A 3-2 win on aggregate. We're into the quarterfinals. SG in the next round of the Champions League. Let's go in and quick sim the first leg. It's a 3-0 win. Saka, Danjuma, Renato Sanchez scoring. How did we just win 3-0? The second leg, if we somehow choke this, I might just quit on the spot. It's a 4-2 aggregate win. Mbappe doing his best to try to get back in the game. But our opening goal in the game was too much for them. And we're into the semifinals of the Champions League again. This time we actually have some harder teams as well. Barcelona in the semifinals of the Champions League. We quick sim the first leg, and it is a 3-2 loss. Frankie de Jong scoring a hat-trick, and Nisserai and Pierre both scoring for us. Second leg here against Barcelona, down 3-2. We come back and win 2-0. And Nisserai and Saka sends us through to the final of the Champions League, beating Barcelona. And we are going to be facing off against Chelsea in the final of the Champions League. Back-to-back Champions League final. Champions League final against Chelsea. A back three versus a back five. Pulisic, Osimhen, Ziyech, Bellingham, Havertz, Chilwell, Christensen, Militao, Ginter, Sterling playing right wing back, and Costa in net. This is going to be interesting. If we somehow beat Chelsea, but not Villarreal, I might be more upset about that. But here goes nothing. How tall is Pierre? He's got to be 6'some". Oh, he's 5'9". I finally get a short player. Musiala wins that ball. Now into Saka. Over the top for Pierre. On the second ball, he'll win that. And the shot's on the ground, and it's 1-0 for Sevilla. Pulisic. This is the problem with having a three-back. We're kind of wide open. And here comes Osimhen. And Gavi is there to intercept. Musiala, can we switch the field for Danjuma? Danjuma crossed in for El Nisserai. It's 2-0. And Sevilla are in a comfortable position early on here. Good ball to Danjuma from Musiala. El Nisserai gets it back, and it's 2-0. And Sanchez wins the ball back, finding Saka. Saka into Pierre. Pierre on his right foot. Shot on the side of the net. Osimhen, Romero, brilliant. Gavi now, Saka. Saka still going. Finding El Nisseroy. He has a little bit of space on his left foot. Finds the back and net. It's 3-0. And Sevilla should and hopefully are your Champions League winners after failing to win last season to Villarreal. We have been dominant over Chelsea this time around. And it's still thanks to him. This, or I almost sold him to Bayern Munich. He was an X away from being sold for 137 million. Musiala into Saka. Saka still going. Saka to make it 4. It is 4. And honestly, we might be good enough to quick sim the second half here. Christensen making a late charge in this first half. Osimhen, shot saved by Banu. Romero keeps it in and clears it to Danjuma. We could go 5 up in the first half here. Danjuma over the top for El Nisseroy. He won't win that, and we go halftime up 4-0 in the Champions League final against 45 minutes away from being Champions League winners. 4-0 up in the first leg. James Maddison on for Ziyech for Chelsea. Havertz coming in early with the smoke. Osimhen, they get one back. 2 minutes into the second half, it's 4-1. Osimhen, Romero, instead of just clearing it, he fouls. Doesn't get a card though, somehow. Walks without unscathed. Havertz in a pole position to score from here. And the AI typically do score, especially when it's James Maddison. But Banu saves. What just happened? I hate this game sometimes. I hold X to just clear it with my goalkeeper. He lobs it up in the air, and then Pulisic just heads in the back of net, and it's 4-2. Clear that one, please. No, nobody's going to that. Banu can't save that. It's 4-3. And Chelsea are literally almost... Oh, my Lord. Osimhen. Kimpembe, you got to catch up to him. James Maddison, Osimhen. Kimpembe won't get to that. Keeper comes out. It's 4-4. We're back to level square here with Chelsea in the Champions League final. We somehow have bottled this completely. One of the goals is a complete, just EA fucking me over. It's 4-4. Here comes Chelsea. Here comes Osimhen. Osimhen. Cleared it out. We're not the Sanchez. Gavi on the second ball. We're going to extra time against Chelsea. We was up 4-0 at halftime. 4-0. It's 4-4.
30 minutes to try and grab a winner and not concede a loser. Montiel on for Romero. Pulisic right before halftime into Osimhen. And we're going to halftime still 4-4. 15 minutes left. Madison into Conte. It's 5-4. And Chelsea might be your FA Cup Champions League winners here. Going down 4-0. They score 5 unanswered. And we have 10 minutes left to grab a winner here. Conte scoring the winner here for Chelsea. Werner onside. 6-4. Chelsea win the Champions League. They score 6 straight. I can't believe I just bottled that. Madison into Werner. It's 7. 7 straight answers. 7. We scored 4 in the first half. The game should have been over. It's 7-4 to Chelsea. They're winning the Champions League. We jump to result. It's a 7-4 win for Chelsea. We lose back-to-back Champions League final. And you know what? That is good enough for us. It's not good enough, but it's going to be good enough. I'm going to be fired. And I'm not doing this again. I spent too long getting fired over and over again. Our top goal scorer in the last season here, Danjuma, with Pierre scoring 25. Saka had 19. We also bottled the league, by the way. We finished second in the league. Barcelona finished first. If you did enjoy that, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I will be back with another rebuild, possibly another 10 seasons. I'm not sure yet. It depends if the Man City one did well. Peace out.